Appraisers are fearful that they will lose their job to AI, and my answer has always been the same.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
I feel like I have to give a bit of a disclaimer, and that is don't shoot the messenger. Let me explain why we're talking about AI again, and just kind of set the tone. From the beginning, when I started the Appraiser Coach in 2010, folks, 15 years of doing this, I had a goal, I had a vision, I had a why, and that has never changed. My why is I love helping appraisers to be successful, and I don't care what direction we go, whether it's improving your report writing, technology, human resources, you name it. My goal has always been the same, and my goal is to help you to be more successful. And folks, I'm sorry, those of you who think AI is scary or overblown or just the new fad, sorry, you're wrong. This is the biggest change that we have seen, a shift, if you will, a generational shift in how the future looks, not just for appraisers, of course, but for everyone. And those of you who have dabbled a little bit in ChatGPT and think, oh, that's kind of cute. Folks, I'm telling you, I cannot stress this enough. As one who spends hours a day in AI, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that you learn AI, use AI, because of the question that we've brought up multiple times on this channel and will continue to bring up on this channel. And that question is, will AI replace appraisers? And most people are approaching that question with a fear-based mentality. Oh no, am I going to lose my job to AI? Folks, I'm telling you something, right? That's not the question you should be asking. The question you should be asking is, what am I doing to utilize AI in my business practice? But today we're going to shift it a little bit and talk about what am I doing to use it to become better overall. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dustin Harris. This is the Appraiser Coach podcast. And today, yes, we are talking AI once again, but I want to get very detailed. See, I've been doing these workshops across the country. So far, we've done one in Atlanta. We did one in Vegas. We did one in Dallas. And I may do more. I've done some corporate training, some specific online corporate trainings for some of the bigger offices as well. And folks, this question comes up every single time. Appraisers are fearful that they will lose their job to AI, and my answer has always been the same. You will only lose your job to AI if you are not using AI. And I mean that. Those of you who, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to use the term that I've used before, appraiser-sauruses who are living in the past and say, you know what, this fandangled stuff is for the new folks. I promise you, you're going to regret that decision unless, and it's totally fine if you're in this world, unless you're in the situation right now where you're going to retire in the next couple of years and an appraisal will no longer be a part of the repertoire of you making money. If you're in that mode, turn this off. Move on to the next episode. But if you have at least 5 years left in this industry, and by the way, those of you who think you're going to retire, you might want to rethink that as well, because I am coaching a lot of appraisers who are in their 60s who are telling me, Dustin, I don't either want to retire or I can't retire. I need to at least semi-retire, but I don't want to just cut it off. And I think that's kind of the new school way of doing things, if you will. But if you're going to be in this industry more than 5 years, I want you to listen up. And today I want to talk specifically about not utilizing AI in your appraisal reports, which, by the way, we go deep in on the All-Star team on a regular basis. I'm doing stuff in appraisal reports. I'm recording my screen. I'm putting it up on the community so people can see exactly how I'm using AI on a day-to-day basis. But we also talk about on it, not in it. And this is a term that I did not coin, by the way. This was a Michael Gerber term from the E-Myth Revisited. And from the beginning, I've utilized this in my coaching, that you have to take time on a regular basis to work on your business, not in your business, okay? Working in your business is inspecting homes. Working in your business is taking comp photos. Working in your business is choosing comps and making adjustments and reconciliations, supporting those adjustments. That's working in your business. Working on your business is what you do when you are deciding how to increase your business, better your business, fix the fires that are burning in your business. This is working on your business, and it requires that you step back from the foxhole and become the general. Meaning you step away from that appraisal report that's due tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate 30 minutes today to working on my business. This is one of the success principles that has absolutely made me successful. Okay? There's many things out there. Masterminds are one, but working on your business is a principle that I would not give up for anything else, because I make more money per hour working on my business than I ever do doing that $1,200 report on the jumbo in Jackson Hole. So what are you doing on a regular basis to work on your business? And today I want to talk about specifically how you can use AI to better that process. First, I want to pause and remind you of a couple of sponsors here. One of them is True Home Tracker, brand new sponsor here at the Appraiser Coach podcast. I am super excited. I've been working with an individual who created this for many years. She's a member of my mastermind, and pretty much every single mastermind she comes to, she mentions this incredible system built on the back of Monday.com. And finally, I said, Nicolette, you have got to get this to the market. And we work together, we partner together, and it's out, folks, and it is absolutely amazing. If you want to utilize technology, that's what we're talking about today, utilizing technology to help you to be more efficient, more successful, automate so much of your office. In addition to keeping track of your orders, folks, this does over 160 automations that if you do this in the background, it automatically does that, which means you don't have to. This thing is absolutely amazing, and you can find out more on my website, TheAppraiserCoach.com. Click on products and then scroll to the bottom. It's the very last thing on the page. It's called True Home Tracker. Check it out and let me know what you think. Speaking of True Footage, by the way, not related to True Home, totally different companies, but True Footage puts out some great tech. One of them is called True Tracks, and True Tracks is free right now for a limited time. And the reason it's free is because, well, it's the old crack analogy, right? Give somebody crack for free and they'll keep coming back to you. It's not crack, but the analogy's there, right? The point is, you're going to use this, folks, and you're not ever going to turn back, because it is absolutely incredibly amazing to help support your adjustments so that you don't have to worry. You can sleep well at night. It's called True Tracks, and it can be found at truefootage.tech/tools. Finally, we are sponsored today by Working RE Magazine. Working RE sends me a couple of emails a week. It's not an annoyance because it's great information. They are on top of what's going on in the appraisal world. You should be as well. This is the career you chose to be a part of, folks, and you can learn more by staying in tune at workingre.com. Welcome back. My name is Dustin Harris. This is the Appraiser Coach podcast, and we're talking, yes, once again, about AI, but specifically we're talking about utilizing AI to work on your business, not in your business. What does that mean? Well, for many years, I've been teaching this principle. Michael Gerber, of course, is the father of this principle. But this idea that we need to schedule, put it on the calendar, okay? You don't miss an appointment to see a house at 123 Any Street If you put yourself as the appointment, you won't miss that appointment either. Make an appointment with yourself weekly, if not daily, to spend some time working on your business. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, no more than an hour. Sometimes it lasts longer than that because you really get into it. At least that's what happens to me. But for purposes of just feeling not overwhelmed, schedule a 30-minute session with yourself, right, to work on your business. For many years, I've been teaching, put away technology, put away the old phone, put away the laptop, and be in a room that you cannot be disturbed at and work on your business. Well, I have changed that in the last couple of years, okay? And that is the one tool that I will allow myself is not my phone, but is my laptop specifically on AI, okay? Whether it be ChatGPT, or some other LLM such as Gemini or Grok, or maybe it's an agent, something like Manus, okay? And my approach to working on my business is changed in the sense that I utilize AI as a trusted source of expertise. I look at it much the way I look at my mastermind groups, that I can go to this very smart, very intelligent, understanding, if you will, being, character, tech, and ask it questions and go deep. Okay. So how do you do that? Well, folks, again, if you look at it not like Google, you're not looking for a specific answer. What you're looking to do is collaborate together. Okay. Don't laugh, but I literally do this often in the car as I drive. Now, I still work a very rural area. Yesterday, I went 3 hours. Now, that was round trip. So an hour and a half out, an hour and a half back for one picture of a railing. Yeah. So guess what I did for an hour and a half out and an hour and a half back? I did not stare at the white line. I did not listen to music. Well, I listened to a little bit of music, but most of the time I was spent on AI. Now, some of you are saying, Dustin, that doesn't seem very smart to be looking at your phone. But here's the thing, folks, I don't have to. I can pull up ChatGPT before I take off. I can hit the speak button and start driving and talk just like I'm talking to you, just like I would talk to a Bluetooth. In fact, I am talking to a Bluetooth. And I'm sitting there asking it questions. Folks, I would encourage you to try this with your working on your business. That you ask questions such as, hey, Grok, I am a real estate appraiser in Rigby, Idaho. And I do about 85% AMC work, and I want to do about 85% private work instead. Help me to know where to start. And it might say, well, hey, great, Dustin. So you're in Rigby, Idaho, and it'll give you some feedback, make sure you got it right. And you want me to help you. Okay, let's start with whatever. It might give you a suggestion. Or it might not. And then you say, okay, where do I start? What direction do I go here? How do I get past the gatekeepers at these estate attorney offices? How do I get to the attorney? Right? What are some ideas on how I can actually speak face-to-face or on the phone with an attorney? Where do I need to go? Or what ponds do I need to fish in? These are the types of questions that you can ask AI and then go deep and go deep and go deep. One of the things that I teach in these workshops that I think is absolute gold, it's so powerful. Where most people go wrong with AI is they ask a question, they don't get quite the answer that they want, and they go, well, that didn't work very well. That's not like Google. Google will give me the right answer. I might have to sift through a bunch of stuff, but it will give me the right answer. Well, guess what, folks? That's not how LLMs work. That's not how AI works. AI works on, and here's the gold, iterations. Iterating on the answer that you got. Saying things like, well, that's okay, but let's go deeper, right? What do you mean by that? Where do I find that information? Like, give me this, okay? And go deeper and deeper. It's asking additional questions. It is gold. Folks, if you're not utilizing AI in your working on your business, your on time, on it, not in it time, you're missing the boat. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Great to see you, and go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit TheAppraiserCoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.